Hello everybody, you have tuned in to Eric Jose on Making a Murderer on YouTube. I cover virtually any aspect of making a murderer. I go over the evidence, the documents, the photos. So if you like, stay tuned, and in the future I'll have many more videos besides the one you're about to see. Alright, so before I get to the main reason for this video, gotta quickly address Mr. Capaldi. He's it's quite funny to see a a Scottish person who has such a obsession with American football. But hey, so listen, Paul, I've told you my two teams, dude. Those are my two teams, dude. See, where you're gonna get confused, buddy, and this is gonna get very confusing for you, because my teams aren't really doing all that well at the moment. So I'm going to end up, because I know football, or at least I look for certain things in teams that I want to root for. So when my teams aren't doing well, I'll end up rooting for another team that's playing well at the moment, that I like the way that they play football. And that's going to confuse you, because then you're going to think that's my team. But it's not. It's not my team. It's just a team that, you know, I think is going to win, because my teams aren't in the game, or my teams aren't in the playoffs. My teams aren't, you know. So that's how that works, Paul. I know it's going to probably get a little confusing for you, but that's the way it works. So sorry about that. Hello, folks. We're back here today to talk a little bit about the power of believing.
I believed in Mahatma Gandhi when non-violence was his faith. I believed in Martin Luther when he said I have a dream. I believe in Winston Churchill when he said we stand together. And I believe in a miracle, and I believe I can change my world.
Now, that is actually one of my favorite songs. It's by a not such a big known artist. He wasn't ever really huge, but his name's Francis Dunnery, and I really love that song. It's off of a really good album called Tall Blonde Helicopter. But I mean, the words in that song, they really speak to me in particular, with, you know, the injustices of the world, and that's kind of what that song's talking about, is bringing up people like Mahatma Gandhi and Martin Luther King and stuff like that. But I really like that song a whole bunch. So the reason why I bring this up is because I've been getting some people commenting to me. Obviously, some of them are the guilters on my channel, some of them aren't. But they're basically like, oh yeah, it's over, it's useless, it's pointless, it's blah 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 blah, right? Yeah, I'm aware of what Brennan and Steven are up against. I understand what they're up against. And yet I believe. Is that hard to understand for some people? I think it is. I think some people just don't get it. The fact of the matter is that there are a lot of people out there that see that confession for what it really truly is. A bunch of bullcrap. I know Wisconsin doesn't want to own up to it, but they should. Because, well, like I've said, the fact that they've never owned up to the 1985, what they did in 1985, the fact that they've never really owned up to that and properly owned up to that, they still deny that Stephen Avery, they still believe that it was Stephen Avery that did it, even though it's been proven it was Gregory Allen. I mean, that's the kind of idiocy that causes them to lose all credibility, Sorry, but that's the truth of it. There's something else that Francis Dunnery says in this song, and I think you should hear.
When she said I take the blame,
I believe in Tonya Harding when she said I take the blame. Yeah. I think that the state of Wisconsin, Manitowoc, all the people involved with this could take a page from Tonya Harding. Now, yeah, was what Tonya Harding did despicable? Absolutely, it was. But what Francis Dunnery's saying is that he believes in her for standing up and owning up to it instead of trying to BS her way out of it. Basically, giving her credit for owning her own bullshit. Right? So, I would say the same. The whole grassroots support of Stephen and Brendan's supporters all getting together and getting vocal and not just sitting down and taking that farce of a decision from the Seventh Circuit, lying down. We're not doing it. It's not happening. Hey, it's just not happening, people. So for those of you who say we're wrong or whatever, you know what? You're right. Brendan has an uphill battle. It's going to be tough for him to get in front of the Supreme Court. You know, it's easy to throw shade, and it's easy to be negative. That's easy to do. It's inherently easier to destroy than it is to create. That's just the way of the world. So, for you negative Nancys, don't get all mad because we're not giving up. We're not giving up because we believe. So, just wanted to go ahead and check in today, people, and say that. And don't let those people out there that are trying to knock you down and trying to tell you that your support for Stephen and Brendan is misplaced or whatever they may want to say. Don't listen to them. Don't even bother listening to what they have to say, because trust me, I've been talking to some of them today. They're not making good points. They're not even listening to the people that they're trying to criticize. They just come in and talk, and then that's it. They just want to say what they got to say and run. So, I mean, there's no intelligent, conversation to be had, really. Especially when they're not even listening to what you have to say, and they're either they're not listening or they're deliberately misinterpreting what you have to say. So trust me, if for those of you who believe, you keep believing, and you can go tell those other people to go pound sand. All right. That's about it, folks. We'll see you later. If you haven't already, please hit subscribe.